Alright, welcome back everyone to the channel. In this video, we are going to be going over Tuesday, July 6th MLB games. We got 13 games. We had 2 postponements yesterday. One of them in Tampa Bay due to that tropical storm rolling through. The other one in New York for the Mets with Milwaukee visiting. And that one was rain as well. Not a whole lot of news going around the MLB that there's too much talking about. Most people talking about the All-Stars that made it and the snubs that are going on. Maybe I'll do my own video, but the All-Star game's never been really something I got too excited for. I think it's pretty much a show. If it was a real game, maybe, but they play too much fun and games for me to get too excited about it. But let's just jump into it because there's a lot of important games going on. Some of the series started yesterday, and we get game 2 of a bunch of other series. But these are important games leading up to the All-Star break. Teams got to finish the first half of the season strong. And let's jump right into it with my team, Toronto Blue Jays, falling short to the Baltimore Orioles 7-5. I talk about how teams need to finish it strong. Blue Jays are one of those teams that they've had the Orioles. I think this is the 4th series they've had against them over the past 3 weeks. Maybe it's just the 3rd. But they're not getting the wins that they need to against this team. They fell short again. This is the first game of the series, and this sets them up to potentially have a losing series against the Orioles the way things are going. Worries me. It's worrisome because they're only 3 games above 500. The rest of the other teams are starting to win. And the Jays, they need to pick up these wins, especially against teams like the Orioles, because it's just going to get harder in the second half when the Yankees start working their way back in, etc. etc. Jays did get out to a quick lead in this one, 1-0, but right in the middle, Matz kind of falls apart. 7 runs are given up between him and the bullpen over the 4th and 5th inning. 7 runs going to Baltimore. The Jays, believe it or not, they were down 7-1. They chipped away at it and into the 9th, made it 7-5, but it doesn't matter. Grichuk, his 16th of the season. Gurriel Jr. is 28th, and Gurriel Jr. getting his 10th of the season as well. I think that puts the Jays in the biggest contention for most people, 10 home runs for sure. Severino, 4th. Mullins having a monster day, his 16th of the season off of Matz in that 5th inning. Matz just couldn't get out of that 5th inning. And Santana gets his 6th as well. Watkins goes 5, 1 earned run, 2 Ks. Good outing for Watkins. He's now had a couple appearances now, and he's looking pretty good for them. Matz goes 4, 3 earned runs, 2 home runs he's given up, and they just can't get. They want Matz back. That was there at the beginning of the season. Big loss for the Blue Jays. Pirates 2, Braves 1. This one was very close, coming down right to the wire when Matzik comes in that 9th inning and can't close the door. He ends up walking in the winning run, and this is just a typical Atlanta Braves game so far this season. Bullpen can't close the door. Bullpen blows the game, and they just can't get to 500. Now they're 3 games below, losing to the lowly Pirates, who are making a name for why it's not time for them to get passed by Baltimore in the power rankings. Arcia gets his first home run of the season coming for the Braves, their only run of the night. And then on the other side, Pirates didn't have any home runs. Chad Cole goes 6, 107 Ks. Great start for Chad. Anderson goes 5, 104 Ks. Again, another good start for an Atlanta pitcher that goes wasted. No offensive support, bullpen no support, and we're moving on. Marlins 2, Dodgers 1, and this is the Dodgers road trip to the East Coast, and they won yesterday, but they couldn't get it done today, and they went into extra innings with this one. 10th inning, the Dodgers didn't put up any runs in the top of the 10th, and then they got into a little bit of trouble when we see Marte on the bases. Stealing, was it a steal? I'm trying to remember exactly how the play went, but he's going to third. I think it was a pass ball, but that just rolled a little bit, and Smith couldn't quite get his handle on it. He throws it to third, and that gets away from him, and then Marte ends up going home for the walk-off of the Marlins. Lopez goes 4, 1 earned run, 8 Ks. Great start. Lopez got to be looking good. 91 pitches, though, but lasting 4 innings against the Dodgers with only 1 earned run, that's a lot of respect coming from me. Gonsolin on the other side, 5.1, 0 earned run, 3 Ks. He leaves in line with the win, but the bullpen just can't hold it. It's only a 1-run game. And this is a typical Marlins game, 2-1, 1-0. We see a lot of those with the Marlins, but they walk away with the win in this one. Rangers 10, Tigers 5. The Rangers kept their offense going from the 9th inning the night before, and they kept it going in this game, putting up 5 within the middle innings, getting a 5-1 lead. But the Tigers did not go away, and they tied it up 5-5 after 7. But Texas, their offense continued to pump in this one. The bottom of the 7th, they added 3. Bottom of the 8th, they added 2. We have Jay Hicks hitting his 4th home run of the season, Holt his 2nd, and Garcia his 21st of the season. Hicks in there in the middle of the lineup with a 2-hit, 3 RBI night, and David Dahl 3-hit, 2 RBI night. Haven't talked about David Dahl a lot this season, but he's back and he's getting some RBIs at the very least. Haven't seen him popping around too much. On the other side, Grossman gets his 11th, Rogers his 5th, Hesse his 12th. So the Tigers continuing to really pump out some offense with the home runs. Arena 4.25 earned runs, 3 strikeouts. He's probably struggling in that starting role for the Tigers. Dane Dunning gets a little bit of action here. 5 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 6 Ks. And Texas has a couple of starters in their lineup that have been pretty consistent. Dane's starting to come down from a higher ERA, which has been good, and they obviously have Kyle Gibson going to the All-Star game. Nice win here, bounce back win for the Rangers, and that's a good series to keep your eye on. Phillies 15, Cubs 10, and what is that now? I can't even remember. The Cubs just keep losing. I think it's 11 in a row now. And they got out to an atrocious start. It was Arrieta giving up 7 in those first 2 innings. I don't know if they were all charged for him. They were. He didn't even get out of that 2nd inning. Chicago Cubs, they tried to chip away here. They put up 3 in the 3rd to bring it 7-3, but Phillies answered right back in the 4th, putting up 2 of their own. And then we get to the top of the 7th, and they have a giant 6 spot. So at this point, they have 15 runs, and the Cubs only have 4. So it's 15-4, and the Cubs are pretty much dug into a hole. They do manage to put up 3, 2, and 1 in the later half of the later innings of this one, but it's far, far too late. Segura had a nice 4-hit, 2 RBI night. We have Harper, 5-hit, 4 RBI night. He's one of those guys about the All-Star snub. He just didn't make it, and how could he? It's Bryce Harper. Sometimes it does make sense to me how the guys that are injured are making it, and then people like Harper who would have that same kind of clout as Trout in a way, just don't get in. McCutchen also hits a grand slam in this game, his 14th of the season. Hoskins, his 20th. Harper, his 15th. Then on the other side, we have Baez having 2 home runs. He's up to 21. And Chirinos, however you want to pronounce it, hits his first this season. Jake Arrieta, 1.2, 7 earned runs, 4 Ks. Atrocious outing, and the bullpen doesn't do much better. With Williams giving up 7 himself over 3.2. And then Nola on the other side goes 6, 4 earned runs, 8 Ks. Not a great outing for Aaron Nola, but he had the run support, and that got it done. Royals 7, Reds 6. The Reds let this one get away. What else is there really to say? They were up 5-0 about halfway through, and then 6-1 going into this 8th inning. And the Royals slowly chipped away. They added 2 in the 8th, and then in the 9th, they're still down 6-3, and they just pour it on. They get a couple of runs. Benintendi hits his 9th home run of the season. That came in the 8th, and then the Royals in this 9th, they just generated all these runs. Ended up being bases loaded situation with Perez at the plate, and he hit a deep, deep ball, which honestly I thought had a good chance going out, but fell a little bit short off the wall, and it ends up being the walk-off hit, and the Royals are ecstatic, putting up 6 in the last 2 innings to walk off these Reds. And the Reds needed this win. Like, they're right in a battle with trying to catch up to the Brewers, and they can't let games like this get away. On the road in Camden, what is it, Camden Yard? I keep wanting to say Camden. I'm just not even going to try. Kauffman Stadium. There it is. Got it, Kauffman Stadium. Bubik goes 4.1, 5 earned runs, 4 Ks. Kansas City starter, not doing good. I'll be surprised, but the bullpen does close the door. And Lovelady gets the win in this one. Lovelady, nice name. Castillo goes 7, 1 earned run, 4 Ks, and he's been consistent, at least for the last few weeks, but this bullpen blows the save. Hembree gets charged with the blow and save, and he's the guy that really had a rough go of it. And then they try to bring Garrett in for that last out to send it to extras, and he gives that hit up to Perez, and that's all she wrote. Astros 9, Athletics 6, and this is another big comeback story. Oakland was up 6-2 after 2. They had put up 6 runs against the Astros early. You don't really see teams pouring that many runs on early. But the Astros offense, they came to play, specifically Yordan Alvarez. He had a 3-hit, 5 RBI night, 2 home runs in this game. He was a big part of the comeback, hence why he's on the front page of today's thumbnail. Valdez goes 5 earned runs, 6 Ks. One of his worst outings that we've seen in a while. But when you have an offense like he does behind him, good things can happen. And the bullpen closes the door completely. Bassett goes 4.1, 6 earned runs, so he can't get out. It's a little bit of a rough outing for him, and you haven't seen him have that kind of an outing in a while. But the bullpen does the rest, and the Astros walk off. This is a big series. These two teams are battling for first in the West, and the Astros have a little bit of a lead right now. And if they can pull away here, we might not see them looking back the rest of the season. White Sox 4, Twins 1. White Sox bouncing back after losing to the Twins yesterday. Not a whole lot to go over here. Rondon's out there on the mound against Barrios, so the offense was limited, but they took advantage when they could. No home runs coming in. 2 runs in the second from the White Sox take a lead. They don't have to look back. Minnesota brings it within 1 in that 6th inning, but not enough. 8th inning, White Sox add a couple to get it done. No home runs overall. Rondon goes 6-1 earned run, 8 Ks. No decision, or he does get the win. He's 7-3 on the season. Rondon still been by far the White Sox most consistent, steady pitcher this season. Kopech coming in for a nice hold, and Hendricks first 22nd save of the season. 2-inning save. You don't see that very often, but they seem to do that, the White Sox. At least bring him in the 8th, sometimes for 1 out. Barrios, 7 innings pitched, 1 earned, 10 Ks. He gets the loss, but he was a great pitcher on this night, and Minnesota's got to be happy with how he's been going this season, while the rest of the team's been struggling. Angels 5, Red Sox 3, and the Angels bounce back with a nice win here with Ohtani on the mound. He also got it done at the bats, throwing in an RBI in his own effort, which is always good to see, him doing both sides of the ball. Renfroe for the Red Sox is his 13th of the season. It's an innocent home run in that 9th inning. Doesn't make up too much of a difference. They were trying. They fell a little short. Stassi on the other side had a 2-run shot in that 1st inning, his 6th of the season. Ohtani goes 7, 2 runs, 4 Ks, and just continues to show kind of why he's going to be why he's at the All-Star game, home run derby. He's got leading the league in home runs, and why he's very likely going to win MVP. Look at those numbers: 3.49 ERAs, top 10% in the MLB, I'm sure, and leading the league in home runs. Got to give him some credit. 5.2 innings, 5 earned runs, and 9 Ks for Eovaldi. In the loss, a little bit of offense given it. Most of it was in that 1st inning, and they couldn't really come back. Arizona 4, Rockies 3. Well, most people would just be like, this matchup is atrocious. I'm a little excited for it because technically these guys are both very bad, and we got Colorado on the road, who doesn't do well at all, so they're going to match up very well against Arizona for a battle of the basement in the National League West. And sure enough, that is the case. Arizona got out to a 3-0 lead in that 1st inning. No home runs coming from their team at all, but 3-0 lead. And we had Colorado chipping away, and 1 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, 1 in the 7th. So 3-3 going into that 9th inning. And we have yet another walk-off. I think we might have 5 overall when all said and done. But Arizona walks this one off in nice fashion. John Gray goes 6, 3 runs, 8 Ks. Good outing for John. Like, if he can do that on a consistent basis, anyone's going to be happy from their starter. And Merrill Kelly goes 5.1, 2 runs, 1. And then both these guys are going to get the no decision, obviously, because we go 3-3 into the 9th, where Bard ends up blowing it for the Rockies. Nice win for them. Moving along, we got the Cardinals 6, Giants 5, and the Giants, they've been basically 500 now for 2 weeks, maybe closer to 3 weeks. So it's a little bit concerning because obviously you can't play 500 baseball when you're in the National League West. You're very, very quickly going to drop into 3rd against the Padres and Dodgers. With the Cardinals, they're working their way back to 500. Like, believe it or not, the Cardinals, if they can be 500 by the time the All-Star break rolls around, who knows, like, what this second half could bring. They could very well get back in this hunt. After, I'm not going to lie, I'd given up on them 2 runs in the first from the Cardinals, get a lead, and the Giants bounce back in the bottom of the third, put up 2, and then there's 2. Like, this was back and forth, back and forth. The Cardinals, for the most part, had the lead the majority of the game, if not tied. They never really were trailing, and so they managed to close the door on that. We have no home runs coming from the Giants, but Arenado, his 17th, and Sosa, his 2nd. And we also see Goldschmidt have a nice 2-hit, 2 RBI night. So it's going to be key for the Cardinals if they're going to continue to do this, that their key players have good nights, and that's what happened tonight. Molina also a 3-hit night. Wainwright on the road, 5 innings pitched, 3 earned runs, 3 Ks. Good outing for him. Wainwright's been consistent. This guy's going to be a legend. I'd be surprised if he doesn't make the Hall of Fame. The way he's just had a solid career, all for one team, and just he's getting on that latter half of his career and still putting up good numbers. Cueto goes 6, 4 and runs 7 Ks in the loss, and the Giants kind of missing they're just missing these wins right now by the skin of their teeth, and that's the case in that game. Padres 7, Nationals 4, and this game was fun to watch. I was watching at least the middle of this game when it was a little bit closer, 6-4 at the time. Padres put up 3, and then Washington answered right back, top of the 5th, 3 of their own. So it's 3-3, and Padres, boom, again, they're putting up 3. Myers had a nice 10th home run of the season, a nice 3-run bomb. I forget what it came in 4th inning, so he led the scoring. But we also have home runs coming from the Washington side. Harrison answered right back with a 3-run bomb of his own in that 5th inning, and then Soto also had a 10th home run and a solo shot coming in that 6th inning. It comes 6-4, as close as it got, but then the bullpen of the Padres got in there and had what they had to say and closed the door. Melancon getting to his 26th save of the season. Weathers goes 5.14 and 2 strikeouts in the win, and Fede goes 4.1, 6 earned runs, 2 Ks. He had a little bit of a rough outing. That's okay. He's had some great outings in the past couple of weeks, so we'll let one slide and we'll see how he does next outing. Yankees 12, Mariners 1, and they're quietly on a West Coast swing right now, these Yankees, and they need it to kind of go under the radar. And this is the kind of under the radar games that they want to do. Not so much under the radar, I guess. Their offense really finally woke up and their pitching was solid. It was all around kind of performance you see from the Yankees. And believe it or not, the Yankees are 2 games above 500, and everyone's acting as if the sky is falling, but we've seen crazier things happen. Definitely with all the games we have left. They're going to have lots of games against Boston, lots of games against Tampa, lots of games against Toronto. So they're going to have their chance to make up some ground. If they continue to play good baseball, especially on the offensive side of the ball, they're going to be ready. Stanton had his 15th of the season, and Odor his 9th. We also have Voit had a 5-hit, 3 RBI night. Overall, the offense was great. 3 hits from LeMahieu. They shut the door with Tyon on the mound. 7 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 9 Ks. Overall, Chapman comes in there. He pitches a 1-hit, 2-walk, gets the bases loaded, but also strikes out the side. So I think they're giving him a chance, and they're in a non-desperate situation, but I'm going to be surprised to see what happens in the next save situation. Will they go to Chapman? Because even in this situation, it looked like he had the bases loaded. Not a good sign. Sheffield goes 1.26 earned run. So for the Mariners' point of view, this was a series that is important because if they can beat the Yankees, they're very close in that wild card. These 2 teams are like neck and neck. This is a wild card match to see who can fight for it. And that basically breaks down 13 games from yesterday, MLB. Exciting. These races are getting amped up. Some of these series are very good series to watch. Honestly, I don't know a game yesterday that is a boring matchup. They're at least all within close proximity of each other in scoreboards. Even the Jays against Baltimore, like that, they're pretty much evenly matched. So, yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. If you have anything to add, go into those comments as you're going down there. Hit that like button. Join the community. Join the comments. Join the subscription service. And we will see everyone tomorrow for the next video. Thanks for watching.